Most recently, the attacks on white straight men is simply to replace them. Modern remakes replace gender or race. Comic books replace well-known characters with replacements. This shows that whites are irrelevant to them despite being the larger fan base. If they actually cared about their fan base, then instead of replacing the existing white characters, they would simply create new ethnic characters. We can have diversity and maintain our integrity at the same time, despite what liberals do and despite what they want us to believe. Or Milestone Comics, a label from DC Comics that has their entire black character line segregated from the primary DC universe. Or blatantly racist comic books like the comic book Black. Let's not forget that even though Black Panther had a practically all-black cast and no one complained, that Thor, which is based on Norse religion, then made into a comic book, didn't have the same freedom despite being the same production company. Heimdall, a character in the comics and in mythology, is a white man, but forced diversity chose to make him black. So what they're telling us is forget Norse mythology. It doesn't matter. But apparently, it's very important to stay true to the Black Panther comic book. The current rumor is that the new James Bond may be black. Well, the books have clearly established his race, so that would be a racist thing to do. But not only that, what a missed opportunity on MGM's part. Imagine, instead of making 007 black, James Bond is introduced to a new agent in the organization. Let's call them 008 or something like that, and he's a black man, or maybe even a woman. Now, you have a black character, and MGM has two franchises instead of one. These two could have their own movies, or crossover movies, you name it. It would be another successful shared universe. But no, liberals don't think like this. Whites are so easy for them to cast out, replace, or made to be the villain that has become blatantly racist. It's the typical liberal answer. Overcompensate to hide that they are the problem in the first place. In the 1993 film Rising Sun, the villain in the film ends up being a white man. The problem with that is twofold. Number one, the film is about a Japanese corporation, and the company is all Japanese. Number two, the villain in the actual book was a Japanese man because it made sense to the story. But leave it to Hollywood and liberals to divide us and make sure the bad Japanese man was now a bad white man because they didn't want to offend Asians. So instead, it's okay to be racist against white people. Clearly, this is racism. And let's be clear, racism isn't wedged deep in this country's history. It's wedged deep in the Democrat Party's history. Ironically, most people think the Democrat Party have their best interests at heart, but the fact is they let progress trickle out when they want and when it's convenient for them and when they can benefit from it. They are in fact what is holding us all back. Liberalism is a dangerous facade. The latest move by liberals disguised as something good are their new diversity rules. In Britain, BAFTA, or BAFTA, made it so a film cannot be nominated unless it meets strict diversity rules. Also, there's the new Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, which created the Inclusion Rider. The Inclusion Rider is a set of rules to make films reflect the world we live in. Exactly. So, according to demographic statistics, a movie should be 75% white, 18% Latino, 13% black, and 5% Asian. At first thought, it sounds great, right? But then you realize not all stories work that way. Some historical pieces wouldn't work. A film set in an isolated country wouldn't work. And if you get down to it, then Black Panther itself would not have been made and going forward cannot be made because it is almost exclusively one race. But of course, being liberals, they won't acknowledge that small detail because there are so many blacks in the film, they'll meet the unwritten diversity requirements. But diversity means variety. So either A, the inclusion rider cannot work, or B, it can work by discriminating against whites. There's no equality there, and there's no diversity there. What is equality? Equality is the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities. Equality means you are not being discriminated against for the color of your skin or your gender, but it also means you're not being rewarded for it either. We need to be treated for our merit, for our accomplishments, and for our character, but not the color of skin or what gender we are. Isn't that the world we want? To reach our goals from our commitment and efforts? But here we are, living in this never-ending cycle because we are brainwashed by liberals and Democrats. Liberalism has fooled us all. It's up to us to make sure it doesn't continue to do so.